All right, hey, good morning, everybody. Let's see if we're live. We're live. I see Katie was our first one. I see people chit chatting. Man, good news! Holy cow! So every now and then, over the years, I've noticed sometimes Facebook posts don't post, like they're going through an update or something, and I can't post on my dang page, man. I don't know what's going on. I can share. I was able to post this event, so hopefully it gets fixed. It was scary. I did all these cool posts this morning, and I do it from my mobile device. It said it got posted, and then I go look on my PC, and nothing was there. The last post was 11 o'clock with the 11 o'clock advisory. So apologize for that. But hey, the website's updated, the app's updated. So as far as getting information out, we're good to go. You just can't. I'm not gonna have my normal posts for a little bit, unfortunately, but I can share, so that's good. I shared the big news. They did designate our Tropical Depression 7 as Gonzalo this morning, so it's officially out in the Middle Atlantic, Tropical Storm Gonzalo. So, so anyway, hey, I'm saying hey everybody. We got our romper room session here. See a bunch of regulars. See all my crew, Coneheads. What's up? Shelly, hey, what's up, Mookie brother? Jennifer, a lot of ABC fans out there for sure. So we'll try to get right into the tropics since I won't be able to have all my posts that I wanted to do this morning. Updating everybody, we got a couple things we're looking at. We got our Invest 91 out by the Gulf, which could be a Texas threat in a couple days. And then we have our newly formed Gonzalo. So we'll take a look at that. So am I in prison? Who said that? Melanie? No, I don't think so. I tried it from a couple different accounts. It's just a little glitch, hopefully. But I've seen it before, so I'm not too worried about it. So anyway, hey Brian. All right. So again, some folks saying ABC Fine Wine and Spirits here. There are Facebook Live supporter now for the second year. They just posted this an hour ago. They have a brand new store in Fort Myers. So we have any Fort Myers fans? We have a brand new store, 10991 or 10981 Saxon Drive. So check them out if you live down in Fort Myers area. And tell them that you're a drunk donkey and Mike's Weather Page fan. All right, so let's close the windows here. All right, let's talk about the immediate threat, all right? And then we'll talk about Gonzalo. Gonzalo just got named. Here's Gonzalo, by the way, if you're wondering. Gonzalo is not the spot in the Gulf. So here's Gonzalo. Interesting. The Euro completely blew this one. The CMC was the only one that showed development. So that's why I always show you every option. And I always make clear that don't put all your marbles in one basket like the Euro. The Euro had this thing absolutely fizzling. The Euro failed. The almighty Euro failed. The Canadians won this one. So we'll talk about that. So the immediate threat here. Here's spaghetti models, by the way. This is a little area here in the middle Gulf. Doesn't have a lot of time. Tropical systems take time to develop. This one does not have a lot of time. We're looking at possible Texas landfall Friday into Saturday. That's only 2 days. So if you're worried about a big Cat 5 hurricane, you have a better chance of winning the Powerball tonight. So that's good news. So far it looks like it'll be like a rain threat. There are a few models hinting maybe tropical depression. Tropical storm. So I'll show you all that. So there you go. There's the latest spaghetti models. Clear cut pass west northwest. The latest look at it here on weathernerds.org. You can see a little bit of blow up happening here. Here's the coast of Florida here. Here's Tampa Bay. Starting to get a little blow up where center is. Center is just a little north of the 25-degree mark. And there is a little blow up. So, it's trying. We knew as soon as this thing got into the Gulf, there's very, very, very low shear, very hot water. Just not a lot of spinach. So that's the only good thing we got is time is not on its side and doesn't have a lot of spinach. So there's that. Satellite imagery. Let's take a look at that. This is on Weather Nerds that he has floaters set to it. And you're starting to see a broad area here trying maybe to get going. But, again, these things take time, which is good. So there's a morning look at that. Water vapor loop, very juicy out there. Not a lot of dry air in the Gulf. Not a lot of shear in the Gulf. So a little bit of dry air. It's pushing from that upper level yesterday, kind of pushing it away. So there you go. A little bit of dry air to the north. We can look at a couple spinach maps here. We'll look at the vorticity, and then we'll look at, let me close some windows out here. I had a whole bunch up before I came on. All right, so there's the latest shear too, and let's go back to we'll just leave that up. Shear. All right, we'll leave this up. It's shear. All right, so shear, relaxing. So it's got a window. That was expected. So very little Gulf shear. So we got to watch it. But intensity models here on Tropical Tidbits, only the ship model having it go any higher than a tropical storm. 3 go up, 3 stay low. So again, not a lot of threat, not a lot of time, which is good. Because we wouldn't want this thing to sit out there in the Gulf for a couple days and do its thing. Here's the latest null school, a little bit elongated low right here. It's trying to close off 850. Weak signature here. So I wouldn't be surprised if this thing got designated maybe tropical depression, tropical storm even. But I get a lot of people message me worried about Hurricane Harvey type setup, and that's not happening yet. So it's trying. It's this ugly blobby mess. Blobby mess. Bobby's in there, I see. Yeah, Brianna, we showed the hey Katie, what's up? We showed the spinach yesterday, and by the way, here this one cracked me up. All right, so here's your day 3 to 7 tropics map. It looks like I gave my we gave Louis a crayon, put it in his mouth, and told him to draw a weather map. You got to have a really clean conscience, sober mind to understand all these little lines. So anyway, that was kind of funny. So all right, let's look at some rain maps real quick, and then we'll get right into what everybody's worried about. Gonzalo. Here's your 5-day rain map. Still no big changes. Coastal Louisiana, Texas. You can tell anything orange and up would be 5 inches plus. No signs of that yet. Let's look at all the rain maps. That's really the biggest threat so far. We could have some squalls off the water. Always typical, to possibly see, some of these bands if they start to get a little stronger as our storm comes in. And, of course, that would be the north side. So Louisiana, even though the landfall is showing Texas, Louisiana is definitely, going to get some bands coming in from this. So let's take a look at total rainfall here and just show you what we got. This is going through Friday. We can start to see the rain. So here's Thursday, Friday rains inching in, and then here's your Saturday rains right here. And look at that little cluster down the south. That's interesting. That's kind of new. Euro's always a little more aggressive on the rain maps, but hey, let's leave it there because that could mean a little lower track according to the Euro. So there are some pockets of rain there possibly. Hey Ruby, what's up, buddy? Yeah, well, this thing's weak west. This thing's on a straight west-northwest trajectory because of the high pressure in the Gulf. But these are pretty high rain totals actually. Latest year I haven't looked at. So possibility there, we could see there's up to 13 inches. So let's see what the other big players are saying. Let's go to the official. Here's Tuesday. And I hear whistling. Oh, I left my YouTube on. Sammy Davis Jr. is playing. All right, so here's the official. One of the official rain maps, and this one's a little bit higher, 2-3 inch max, a little bit more higher concentration here, closer to the state line, Louisiana. So you get the idea. The rains could spread inland, maybe to central Texas. This is through the weekend rains. GFS. Let's see if it's showing anything like the Euro was showing. and it's showing a little bit more north trajectory. So the Euro's at odds. The Euro's put more rain down the southern tip. Everybody else is keeping it more eastern into Louisiana. And again, no huge totals other than what the Euro just showed, which was kind of surprising. But the Euro sometimes it got Florida right once, it got it wrong once. So we're not going to put all our money into that. But it's a possibility. Just keep that open. Let's go to let's see if the 6Z's got updated yet. I don't think it's going to go out that far though. It only goes out 90 hours. There's rains to Saturday rain, so get the idea. So I see Casper. What's up, Susan? Thank you for being a supporter. Again, if you're just tuning in, not able to post this morning. I tried it on several accounts, so there's some glitch here on my page. It's happened before, but I can post videos and I can share and I can do other things. So I'm not too worried about it. You're just not going to see a huge inundation of posts from me this morning. And it's a good thing because I'm going to Orlando. Going to Orlando today because we're doing a video with Tom and Dan, the Tom and Dan show today, doing our weather gig. So if you're Tom and Dan fans, wearing my shirt, I'm heading over there today to do our little chit chat. So, all right, so we're gonna get into Gonzalo here in a minute. Let's look at some ensembles. I'm trying to look at all the possibilities here. Let's look at all the possibilities from Tropical Tidbits on our Invest 91, and then we'll get hot and heavy in the Atlantic, I promise. I really want to focus on what's close here. Close some windows here. All right, so let's go to all the models from overnight showing Invest 91. This is Invest 91 in the Gulf. So GFS never really makes it a close low, and here's Friday night, Saturday morning. We can look at the rain map, get an idea. Kind of the rain, just sloppy rains, no huge concentration on the GFS, just sloppy rains. This is through Sunday, so again, no huge signature of anything to stress about on the GFS. We can look at the rains on the CMC. CMC tightens up to 1,009 millibar, 1,008. Middle Texas rains on the CMC, and then on Sunday, it takes it inland a little bit, southern tip, so it's kind of leaning toward the Euro thinking, and then it's going to go to the south. So, there's a good chance middle to southern Texas could get some rain out of this, but that's, we're just talking rains. Could be some flash flooding, but there's CMC. This is on Sunday morning, and here's Saturday morning. So Friday night, Saturday morning landfall, CMC showing a little more organization, but it's only 1,009 millibar. It's not anything to stress about. It's 1,009. There you go, crossing over. And then the latest Euro is just a weak low pressure signature going into Friday night and Saturday. So that's it on that one. One last thing we'll look at is ensembles, and then we'll go hot and heavy in the Atlantic, because the Atlantic is waking up, and there are signs that we could see a wave coming in off of Gonzalo to watch close. So here's your latest ensembles from the GF or Euro, and again, there's only like one or two possibility below 1,000 millibar. So highly unlikely we'll see anything stronger than a tropical depression, tropical storm. All right, there's that. So take a break here. What's up, Monica? Yep, 30th at 2nd. Weather currently right now, we have, last night I posted the lot of storms across the U.S. last night. We had, it was pretty incredible looking at the lightning. Everything just seemed like it ignited yesterday across the whole North America. We had, every storm had lightning in it. It was pretty crazy to see that. Current radar right now, South Florida definitely getting the rains. Right here, this is all tied into, look at South Florida, Okeechobee South, all that this morning. They've been getting rain every morning now. It seems like an eternity down in South Florida. But hey, it is the Everglades and they need it, right? So there's that. A lot of juice in the Bahamas. Here it is. Here's a big sloppy mess, and this is trekking this way. So we're going to get some upper range of the upper Gulf. We've been talking about that. It's definitely panned out. Everything so far on this system has done what we thought. We've tracked this thing for the last week all the way to Africa. It was a mid-level wave. Talked about it over a week ago. and it definitely panned out by the models. And again, but it hasn't been anything too stressful, at least. So let's look at your radar just to see who could get stuff in the upper Gulf. So here's our system, and see these rains. It's going into 5 o'clock tonight. So we're going to start to see rain starting to roll into the upper Gulf later today. And there's these, just just never know. I mean, hit or miss on the upper Gulf. Who's going to get what? And this is going into tomorrow. As our core of the system will be down this way, just south of Louisiana. And some of these rains are going to spiral upwards into the coastal areas. So that's what you can expect there. Storm Prediction Center not showing anything, but you can have squalls off the water, no doubt. No big highlighted areas other than the northeast. The jet stream's really high right now, so they're getting a lot of wind up that way from storms. But as far as south goes, no big storm threats the next couple days. So just your normal squalls. We'll probably, they'll probably up this a little bit come Friday, Saturday. I guarantee Friday we will see the Storm Prediction Center highlight Texas and probably Louisiana as far as coastal storms goes. So watch for that. This will start to happen Friday afternoonish into Friday night into Saturday morning. The storms will increase here across Texas and parts of Louisiana. So all right, so the other news in the Atlantic is a disc named Gonzalo. I updated the website. I don't know if they updated this yet. Nope, still says 7, but you go up here to update, and you'll see at 8:50 a.m. they upgraded it. The structure of Gonzalo is very well intact. The microwave imagery is pretty strong. It's 1,003 millibar, got low pressure, so it's 45 miles an hour. They might put the H on here now. We'll see. Let's see here. Stuck. There we go. The official forecast has a peak at 65 by the islands here, and then some weakening as it heads across through the Caribbean, and that's due to some expected shear. However, the smaller systems, as many of us know, tightly cored small systems can ramp up quick, and B, they can ramp down quick. So if this thing is able to stay south of the big mountains of Hispaniola and hang on to any amount of spinach, then we could be talking about it a little bit longer here into the Caribbean. So long range models aren't showing it. Remember, a couple days ago, the Euro had zero chance of this thing becoming anything. So we just have to watch these in real time. Sometimes the models are wrong. And there's our buddy Jonathan English. What's up, Jonathan? What's up, Richard Sanford? I'm gonna try to read some comments real quick. Take a break, and I can ramble on. But so this is a tricky forecast. Small system. We have dust to the north, and the dust is actually moving faster than Gonzalo. Let's look at some satellite imagery here. So it's definitely getting more organized, tightly clustered little system. This is on Weather Nerds, but you can definitely see very nice spin to it, starting to get constant blow up of thunderstorms around the center. So it's definitely developing. It's a tiny little system. If you want to see how it looks in perspective of the rest of the world, you can kind of see it right here. Little guy right here. Normal size, really. I mean, it's not the smallest thing in the world. But there it comes, spinning away. And the trajectory has it slowly pulling to the north, to the Lesser Antilles. Timing for the islands, again, still into Friday, Saturday. The earliest you can see winds would be Saturday morning hours, late Friday night. So if you're in the Eastern Caribbean here, Friday night into Saturday, things start to go downhill. And there's a chance this thing could get bumped up into a hurricane. So I would definitely pay attention to that. The Southwest Water Management Spaghetti Model chart includes ensembles. In gray, ensembles are GFS, and the peach ones haven't been posted yet. So these long-range GFS ensembles show you the spread past the Middle Caribbean here. And I put that on the supporter page this morning. That there's a lot of different thinking on if it were to stay together. Some have it pull north, some have it kick back to the west. And remember the CMC 3, 4, 5 days ago was the only model showing this thing forming and heading into the Yucatan, into the Gulf. So timing of this, midweek next week, somewhere right around here, this time next week. So if you're curious about timing, we're talking about Friday, Saturday here, Tuesday, Wednesday here, if it becomes anything. So let's look at some long-range models on that one. Not a lot of love from the models right now. So again, it's crazy. We're watching this in real time. Here's a GFS. Timing on this impacts the island Saturday, and then it kind of weakens it, the main operational run, and just can't even see where it's at. But if we go to the ensembles on the GFS, this is the Trouble Tidbits, has all this great stuff on it. You can see the highlighted colors here are the main center, and as the storm is more clustered together, the colors get brighter as far as agreements. So you can see there's pretty good agreements that right here we're going to see, Saturday crossing the Lesser Antilles, and then we'll start to see this spread, different thinking, different models, kind of, depending on the strength of this high, depending on a weakness here to the north. All of this depends, we even have some going down into Miami as a 992, so, time frame here, Thursday, Friday next week, there's a possibility this is where it could be if it's going to be anything. Remember, you got high mountain tops. If it does take this path, a lot of it will, determine if it clears to the south of, the Hispaniola. So, anybody in Jamaica, Cuba, Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, pay attention. This thing could definitely sneak up on you. And, be a low-end hurricane possibly. I can definitely see that possibility. And then, unfortunately, if it does survive, we have to really start to think about this map right here. This is the heat potential map, and nobody's really talked too much about it, but this is the amount of ocean heat content. That's how hot the water is below the surface, and that's rocket fuel, they call it, as layman's terms. So if our system does stay to the south, more towards Jamaica, into Cuba here, this is going to be an opportunity for this to really get going, if it stays together. That's the big question. So the GFS shows it fizzling. Let's go to the Euro and show you what's cooking on the Euro. Here we go. Euro's pretty much failed on this sucker from day one. Euro's not even showing it organized here by the Lesser Antilles on Saturday. So the NHC is completely going against the almighty Euro this time. So people always ask me, what's the best? I'm like, well, listen, there's been equal times. Well, the Euro's usually right more than wrong, but there's been a lot of times the Euro is wrong and the GFS is right. And the CMC has been doing a good job. So even though the NHC is showing a 65 mile an hour possible strengthening storm right around here, the Euro is saying nothing. Now, the Euro is showing the wave behind is something to watch. And this is something I keep showing because, it's been very consistent. And what's worrisome is it's showing nothing on the one we got, and it's showing something on the one behind it. So, we could be looking in that African wave train cycle where the storm behind Gonzalo could be the one to watch. Now, this is Monday, July 27th, following that same pattern across that strong Bermuda high, racing along. These winds are going clockwise, accelerates these systems to the east. But look, strengthening system 10 days out down here just below, Jamaica with 1,002 millibars. So that's the wave that more and more people are starting to chatter about, that we got to watch. The one behind Gonzalo, nothing solid. The CMC has been pretty consistent on the idea too. This latest run, it has it a little bit weaker, but the same general thinking. The wave, this is the wave behind Gonzalo, and even the Canadian model dissolves Gonzalo past the island. So if you want to go all in on the models, the three biggies that I look at are all saying Gonzalo is going to fizzle. Little systems can be very tricky. Little systems can fight off dry air better than bigger systems. And that'll be what everybody's scratching their head on. So, again, the CMC's wave behind Gonzalo, showing it right here. And then yesterday, it was more agreeing with the Euro and showing a pretty strong system right here. So, that's what we got to watch. Now, let's look at ensembles. They're a little bit more agreeing that we could see increased activity across the Atlantic 10 days out. Let's focus on the next 5 days. The next 5 days, the Euro ensembles pretty much dry up Gonzalo before the islands. So the Euro is not seeing anything with Gonzalo. We already showed the one for Invest 91. But here's the secondary wave. This is the one that's going to be riding just a little bit north of Gonzalo, allowing a chance for a little bit more curvature to the north. But as we go to 15 days out, quite a few models are showing that secondary wave could be, organized into a hurricane. So it's not a guarantee, but I'm seeing a lot more meteorologists talking about the long range look at that wave behind Gonzalo to keep an eye on. So can't be worried about it. You just have to keep in the back of your mind that, hey, we could start to see things really starting to ramp up. Remember, the MJO was supposed to be in a negative pattern, and it flipped a switch on us just like that, and now we're in a positive state. So all this activity that we saw blow up yesterday across North America, I do believe is because this upwards convective burst from the MJO has helped ignite storms, and we're going to have this all the way into middle August. So we could be seeing, the sign that the tropics are definitely waking up. So a couple things. Let's look at the dust real quick. This is a great map here showing the dry air to the north, and let's put it in animation here. The wave here, let's see, let's take a minute to load, but there's a big plume of dry air to the north, and there's a couple maps I can show you, but Gonzalo is right below this main dry air, and it's kind of racing with it. So it's a race. The heaviest stuff's to the west, but Gonzalo's definitely got a tight little moisture field around him, and we'll have to see any indications that it might be trying to suck in dry air. That really would be the only thing that would deter it at this point. So this, and here's that wave behind it. You can see the general thinking. So you got a huge. This yellow is dry air, and as we get closer to time, let's get to 240. Let's just get it to where we're at now. This is where we're at now. Let me stop it, and we'll go to the latest would be 1320 right there. So here's where we're at now. Big dry air circling it to the front, to the north. So it's got a little moisture bubble. This is Gonzalo. But look at this behind it. Dry air is becoming less evident. And the secondary wave here that we're going to be watching is going to have a little bit better environment to be working with as far as building. So sometimes it takes a wave like this one, Gonzalo, to pave the way for the next big one behind. So that's always the case. Seems like one or two waves moisten things up, and the secondary wave behind are the ones to watch. So that's just a little something. Here's your dry air map. We show this a lot. Here's Gonzalo riding just below this big plume, and this big plume is actually running a little bit faster than Gonzalo, and you can see Gonzalo spinning right here. But this big plume's going to pass to the north. Gonzalo's going to be somewhere down here. So we're going to see if this big plume can pass by and not affect Gonzalo. So that's chitter chatter. Is the dry air is the plume is moving quicker than Gonzalo is. In fact, if we stop it right here, this is Friday. So Friday, our system's gonna be somewhere right here, and there's the plume. This plume is right now is just to the north. So it's gonna have dry air to the north to worry about. That's really the biggest hurdle, and we're gonna read the NSC discussion here in a minute too. I like to see what they're talking about, and let's take a look at the latest NASA map on dust and get a good look at what we're looking at here. Here's the plume. So here's the plume. So currently our system's about right here. The plume is right behind it, and as we go in time, you can see the plume races in front of it, and our Gonzalo is going to be somewhere around right here. So the plume is actually behind it, and it's going to race past it. There's Gonzalo. So there's going to be a lot of dry air, but then we got this little pocket of maybe a little bit lighter setup here for our secondary wave. We'll be watching somewhere right here, it looks like. So So the secondary one's got a little better conditions ahead of it. Let's see. All right, so there's that. Let's go back to Weather Nerds real quick. Then I'm going to read the NHC discussion because they're probably going to say how there's doubts past a certain amount of days. And I didn't mention that the Invest 91 is up to 50% now, by the way. And they are saying gradual development is possible. Could form the next couple of days before landfall. So Air Force Hurricane Hunter might go out today, but it's at 50%. So again, this if you're just tuning in, this little guy is not going to have a lot of time to develop. It's moving at a pretty good clip, and it's not going to stall. So it only has a day or two window here to try to get going. So mainly a rain event. Let's go back to the dry air map here on Weather Nerds and zoom out, and we can see the overall picture here. And take a look at the water vapor loop, and you'll see. Well, let's just put this one in motion, and then we'll see everything. So, and yeah, Whitney, they brought. Look at that. So that's a good shot. We were wondering where the crayon was the other day. Sabi Rainmaker. I'll take a break. So if you're tuning in, by the way, this new Facebook page look, old page look, I think my page is in a transition because I'm having a hard time posting, even on my mobile. But I can share and I can do this, so we'll get through it. Hey Jenna, Gonzalo. The only thing that concerns me with Gonzalo is it always had a tight spin, and it bothers me because the Euro showed zero chance of this thing becoming anything. So it's already tricking the models. So tight little spinners like this, models don't have a really good take on them. So you got to watch things in real time. Other than dust to the north, there's really nothing. We got some, they call this a hurricane graveyard with trade winds early in the season, but if it gets really, 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 really strong, we've seen a lot of storms turn into tropical depressions and they reignite themselves. Remember Harvey, I think, did that. Harvey and others. So if it maintains that tight core spin, then it could be a tough little guy and withstand a little bit more maybe than a bigger system could. Bigger systems have harder times ingesting dry air, and they have a wider core. This one's got a little tighter core. So I'm not worried about it. Just keep your eye on it because, like I said, the models have been wrong on it, and now we're looking at a named storm possibly inching into hurricane strength by the Lesser Antilles. Here's the dry air. It's battling. So it's got a massive, massive amount of dry air. This is that Saharan air layer along with dry air. So, if it gets through this, then, we got to watch it. So these little systems can make their own little moisture field, though. And, one good map on Levi's site is the humidity in the air. We got to have a certain amount of humidity in the air for these systems to maintain moisture. So as long as this thing can pull moisture down from the south and keep things juicy, then, it's going to have a chance. So not too sure if this is a huge deal yet or not. But it looks like Tampa Bay Buccaneer colors. Bucko Bruce. There's Brady. Are you in there, Brady? No, we're not buffering, Whitney. On my end. Hopefully not me. Hey, Rachel Piper. Well, there's another wave behind Gonzalo that the Euro is really aggressive on. That's the one I've been watching a long time. We've been talking about coming off of Africa. So hopefully not. First part of August is, when we said the end of July, August, things should really be getting active, and it appears that it is. So, all right, there's that. Let's take a look at how tight the little guy looks. Again, not a lot of discussion on this, but the heat potential map past the Lesser Antilles is definitely favorable for, definitely intensification. So that's that. I have another map here. We have the Bay News 9 tropical. This is kind of like the Barron Index map here. It kind of shows you potential. So this is basically shear in this part of the world. So if our system passes the hurricane graveyard, as they call it, and gets down here, then it's going to have a secondary shot to get going again. That's only if it maintains that little spin. Hurricane intensity map links that I've got on here show conditions are prime. So we're in that time of year that this thing. So there's not a lot. The only negative this thing has going for it right now is dust to the north and to the front and dry air. But little guys can definitely push through that kind of stuff. Here's another good shot. This is lower level moisture or upper level moisture, and you can see it's not as dry as you would think. That upper level dry air is racing along with it, so that it won't reach that. So it's got a good little moisture bubble here, and see what else we can look at. Matter of fact, look at this. So just like that. Look at that. Oh my goodness. So the tropics hazards map goes from nothing to now we got development, moderate chance. That's our Invis 91. Then we have high chance. Obviously, it just formed. And then next week, it's even continuing this area being prime for Gulf disturbance. And then here's our secondary wave behind Gonzalo. So this is August 29th or July 29th to August 4th. So they're already starting to show the possibilities starting to increase in August, both in the Gulf and the Atlantic. So we could be together for a long time. We can't break up now. So this little guy's been riding along the ITCZ intertropic convergence zone. Got a lot of spinach here, and it's actually kind of broke away a little bit. That's why it's its own little guy now. Look at that, 850 millibar spinning, tight little spin. So it's pretty healthy. 700 millibar lined up with 850, so it's got a little stacking going on. 500 right there, so it's very stacked, very nice. Got a good strong core. 500 millibar, 700, 850, all tightly stacked here, and that'll be tough to disrupt. So we'll see what it does. Here's a big blow up happening right now. Nope. That was an old frame. But it still looks good. All right, so here again, here's your spaghetti models, your 12Z spaghetti models. This came out on Tropical Tidbits. General thinking, scooting across, slight bend to the north, normal hurricane path. Look at that. Very common. Starts to pull north. Question's going to be, what kind of strength do we have here? Can it survive this little area? Can it survive the winds? Will it blow apart and become naked? The NHC is keeping the speed at 65. We'll have a new update at 11, another about 45 minutes. But they're showing it, peaking out at 65 mile an hour and then slowly down to 50 in 5 days. So let's see. Let's read it. Although the cyclone is likely to remain in an environment of fairly low shear, the influence of dry air and large substance could inhibit strengthening in a few days. The NHC intensity is similar to the prior one. Calls for some strengthening following a leveling off. This is below the model consensus, but above the global. But it also says this. It also should be noted that the small size of the system makes it susceptible to significant fluctuations both upward and downward. So there you go. Little guys are hard to predict. Sneaky little bastards. Oh, and I can't show you the dogs because Julie took them to the vet. This Hunter's 12-week checkup or whatever, and they want to see Louie. So no Louie or Hunter today. Agua, yeah, we're reading. We do Romper Room. We do Romper Room and reading class. We're doing e-learning. E-learning. You could choose if you want. So this is looking forward 10 days. So again, the euro doesn't even show Gonzalo exists, but 10 years or 10. Let's see who's that. I bet you $10 it was my mom. My mom forgets that I do this every day. She's 80 years old. Bless her heart. Let's see who popped in. Oh no, wrong Facebook. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But anyways, so here's a 10. Here's the one that everybody's kind of talking about. This is 10 days out, long way out. This could be the guy behind Gonzalo down here by Jamaica. So no worries yet. It's just the euro's been very consistent on our secondary wave coming across, possibly to watch. So that's starting to show up. And here's the blobby wave here. This is the euro showing our. And the euro does better too once there's a system too. I mean, they always say it's hard for models to predict tropical genesis. That's a cool word, formation. But once we have formation, and then the models get good data put into them, then the euro knows, hey, we got a system out there. So, not saying the euro is wrong. It's just as far as genesis goes, it didn't do good. So, but here's the timing: Friday, 8 a.m. This is where our low pressure could be, 10-10, nothing huge. Winds stretching up towards Louisiana, counterclockwise flow. And going into Saturday, could get a little more windier overnight. This is Friday midnight. Or is that p.m.? Yeah, that's p.m. That's noontime. So Louisiana, Friday, could get a little windy to our north side as our system starts to spin in. And again, even though the Storm Prediction Center is not showing it, I could definitely see us getting some squalls rotating in off the Gulf. As a matter of fact, it's starting to show on the euro right now. So just remember, these squalls are going to be rotating in counterclockwise. This is Friday, 10 a.m. So we're going to start to see, things go downhill tomorrow. But definitely Friday, we're going to start to see squalls rolling in here off of the Gulf. This is Friday, 7 a.m. So if you got plans out on the water on Friday, anywhere from Louisiana to Texas, I would definitely think twice about them, because we're going to see possibilities of that. Let's, matter of fact, take a little closer at. Let's see. Let's look at NAM 2K. Let's look at a little lower resolution NAM. Let me close some windows here as I crash my computer. We don't want that to happen. 12 km NAM. Let's go to the Gulf, and we'll start to see these storms rolling in Thursday. And there they are. So there you go. See that rotation? So Thursday, and then, this is the 12K. That's just started running. So we got to go back to 6Z. Here they go. This starts to develop Thursday. So, Thursday's light stuff. Thursday afternoon, here's the big stuff. And we could definitely see Friday some of these squalls. This is Friday morning. Some of these squalls are going to start making their way up into Louisiana, even maybe into Mississippi. So, and then possible landfall early Saturday morning, and it's going to continue on across Texas and bring some rain. So there's that. Let's see, anything else cool we can look at that I didn't cover? Updated the website too, by the way. Check this out. All right, so on Gonzalo, I have the microwave link now, which a lot of big dogs like. This shows you the core of the system, and this is pretty impressive for a tropical depression this morning. This is really impressive for a tropical depression storm. So this is the microwave imagery. Definitely got great structure that you normally don't see on a tropical depression. Now Gonzalo. So good presentation here on the microwave imagery on Gonzalo. I also have these storm product links right next to it where you can actually zoom in and get a overlay of sea surface temperatures. You can get heat content. This heat content here. We could look at the current IR satellite. So that's a great link if you want to. And then you can zoom in a little higher resolution, 2km. So it's a great site. If you go to my site, it's right underneath the spaghetti models between Tropical Tidbits and Southwest, right here. Custom Gonzalo Storm Products. I love it. It's off the CIMSS site, UW Madison. You can look at dry air. I love doing this. So there's your dry air to the north. So you can become your own little weather person and look at water vapor and really digest it very well. So it's cool stuff. So there's that, and oh my God, I don't even know if I've lost my comments. Oh, there they're back. All right, so let me see. Where did I go? I'm back. Everybody's freezing up. Yeah, I also learned over the years after I get it 1 hour in. Hey, Jennifer Hawkins. Good morning. Hey, Hurricane Mike. What's up, Natalie Moorhead? Cool beans. Katie, you haven't missed much. We go back and show it. I'll upload it at noon. So there you go. That's the current rundown. So everything in a nutshell. We got 2 things out there, by the way. 2 things cooking. Invest 91 might be getting investigated today by the hurricane hunters. It's heading towards Texas. We're going to see Louisiana impacts begin as early as tomorrow. Definitely Friday we can see squalls in off the water to watch here in upper Louisiana into Texas as our system west-northwest tracks. So other than a rainmaker and some squally coastal weather should be in check, hopefully. But we'll watch close. The Gulf has been known to surprise us this year. And, starting to get a little more convection, actually, near center. So, got to watch it. This is the day. It's got, today and tomorrow to try to get its game on. So, we'll see what it does. I'd definitely be watching close. So, anyway, all right. And then Gonzalo, we'll just have to keep our eye on and see what it does past the Lesser Antilles. Definitely got impressive structure, and other than dry air to the north, I think this one might end up becoming a hurricane, and then that'll allow it to stay a little bit more intact as it passes this rougher conditions ahead. And then we'll have to watch it close next week. So, again, timing would be Tuesday, Wednesday, right around here, if you're wondering, this time next week. So, if it were to impact Florida or the Gulf, we could be looking at Tuesday, Wednesday, the earliest next week right here. So, lots to watch. Blobbage, Whitney. Hey, Dan, Keys next week. Well, actually, I would definitely be paying attention to Gonzalo. It could be closing in on the Keys Tuesday, Wednesday, if it were to make it that way. No guarantees if it's going to go there or not, but timing would put it there. So, there's that. Anything else cooking here? If I saw, hopefully, hey, Monica, I don't know, maybe one day. Yep, Bobby, watching for pressure drop. So there's a good link on my site too. On the very, very bottom here, Bay News 9 has a pressure map here, and if you go to Gulf pressures, there you go. And we'll start to get some more Gulf readings as our wave makes its way. And then Levi's site also has a good pressure map. So if you go to Tropical Tidbits and click on current storms, you'll see pressure readings, the same pressure readings pretty much Bay News 9 has. There is a ship reading out there, though. So there's a surface plot where our system's at. So we'll just sit back and wait and see. We'll see if, and then Douglas, don't forget Douglas, if you got friends and family in Hawaii, there's a chance that Pacific storm could actually be heading towards Hawaii. There's a very good chance. Sunday, right on top of Hawaii. So if you got any Pacific friends, look at that. Could be Tropical Storm Douglas right on top of Hawaii at the end of the weekend. Showed that yesterday. Crazy. Can't do it, Jenna. Can't push it away. Whitney, I'm not sure where the actual ship model is. They have a wind model. Obviously here. It's the extreme outlier. It's not this is where models get silly. They don't realize that Invest 91 is going to be over land in 2 days. So this ship model's expecting it to be a hurricane over Mexico. It's drunk. Bob, that's a good question. We can look at that. Let's look at some steering currents. All the models have a general pull upwards. I guess the biggest question is whether or not it even maintains itself. Well, we can pretend looking at 500 millibar. So theoretically speaking, I guess if we look at almost the same. So the upper level pattern between GFS and Euro are almost the same. So so if Gonzalo was actually still a storm somewhere here in the Caribbean midweek, we see a weakness, and that made sense. There's a weakness right here. All the models are trending more to a pull north. So this is Wednesday, and GFS and Euro are almost exactly the same, and the CMC. So looking at this time next week, there appears to be a weakness between the highs, and this will allow a pull to the north eventually. And high builds back in, which is going to push it. So I mean there is enough support to show this is slowly going to pull to the north and then possibly back up to the north with a weakness. So this is your upper level steering currents, 500 millibar, and this is Wednesday. Go into Thursday. High pressure here is going to keep it pushing. So really nothing that's going to allow it to go into the Atlantic, it doesn't appear. But as far as long range, there's a weakness that's going to allow it to go more to the north. And our next system was going to be somewhere down here, and a strong high pressure is going to just allow it to keep on tugging along in the Western Caribbean. But as far as Gonzalo goes, there is a little weakness here midweek that's going to allow it to pull north, if it's anything then. So, just look at your great spaghetti models here showing the GFS ensembles, and you just kind of go down the middle. Look at consensus, look for trends. The trend has been lately a little bit more pull to the north. Originally, a lot of them had it going straight west, but now the trend is a little weakness and a pull to the north. And you can see that right here. If it maintains anything, that's a big if. It might be nothing but a wave then, so don't get caught up on that quite yet. Lots to watch. Models are saying no. The NHC is going against the models. NHC is going with a little bit more common sense this time around, because the Euro's showing not even being anything right here. So they're definitely going against the Euro. Going with the fact it's tightly closed low, a lot of spinach, very good microwave imagery, and it's got a pretty good little moisture bubble around it. So it's a decent looking system that has a chance to ramp up a little bit. And then we'll have to see what it does here. So I suspect we'll see it every update. 11 a.m. we'll have an update soon. And, it could start inching its way. You can see the turn here already. So that was a good question. Who brought that up? Thank you, Bob Daly. I think that was you. But I can see that now. I can see that weakness here Tuesday, Wednesday, and allowing this to curve up. So, something to think about. There's if it stays below the high mountains of Hispaniola and it's still got a tightly little spin, then we could definitely be looking at this thing getting into the Western Caribbean and maybe having a chance to refire back up. So definitely very interesting. And the way that the tropics are blowing up last night and today with these systems, I would definitely be keeping an eye on this Gulf storm. The models are saying no chance of a hurricane. There's not a lot of spin to it, but we've seen this, man. I talked about it back in March and stuff. The year of the blobs and squalls. The Gulf has been very tricky in producing. It's going over that warm loop eddy right now and extremely hot water. So we got to watch this close. So there you go, guys. Hope that made sense. Kind of went all around the board, but I think it made sense. I hope. Hopefully I can post. I'll find out. We're heading over to Orlando and doing the Tom and Dan show, so I'll unless all my posts automatically show up, you're going to see a million that say test. Nope, there's my share, my last one. So let's do a test right now. Test. See if I can post. Nope, still stuck. Damn. Damn it. Bummer. Oh well. But I could share. I posted in the weather supporter group. That worked. I just don't know. The posting ain't working. Crazy. Tried it on my mobile device too. Anyway, all right. Well, y'all have a great day. If things get a little crazy, then I'll definitely be on later today. So we're gonna watch short term the blob in the Gulf, and Hurricane Hunters might be heading in today. So, other than the fact none of the models are showing hardly any development, we're just going to watch that one close and see what it can do. And watch close, right? Timing would be tomorrow. Things could go downhill for Louisiana, and then definitely Friday, potential landfall into Texas. So it's got a 1-day window to see what it can do. That usually isn't enough time to get going into anything too worrisome. So that's the good news. So, all right, thanks guys and girls. Appreciate it. All the fans and supporters, all your support. Don't forget to buy your Drunk Donkey gear. Click on the little donkey guy right here, and you can get all your cool stuff, stickers and whatever else. You can even get a Drunk Donkey face mask. Mine are on the way. So, all right, I got to get everything on our blobs and squalls. I watch blobs. That's what we're doing right now. We're watching one blob in the Gulf and one named storm in the Atlantic. So all right. Well, I'll be here tomorrow 100% for sure, and then Friday for sure, and maybe tonight if things get active. So we'll see. All right. Have a great day. Stay safe, y'all. Bye-bye.